They say the early bird gets the worm, and before most of us can even get out of bed, Officer Veronica Vela is already at work protecting and serving Edgewood ISD.
So usually I'll get here around 6 a.m. and then of course the safety and security of the students and staff inside the buildings is our number one priority. We're assigned to check all outer perimeter doors and then calls for service, right? We have calls for service just like any other district, any other police officer.
From campus walkthroughs to welfare checks, it's safe to say that no 2 days are ever the same for Officer Vela. But join this military veteran on her route, and you'll quickly see what brings her joy at work.
It's easy. It's almost like second nature since I'm already a parent and a mom. So usually when I walk into a campus, I'm friendly, right? I'm like, hey, how are you guys doing? All the way from when I see them in the morning to school drop-off, right? I have like that nurturing side, but then I also have where, hey, you know what? It's time to put your foot down and put them in a path where they're gonna do right. You want me to push you?
If you ever happen to come across her in the community, this small but mighty officer wants you to know one thing.
If you see me out, say hi. I'm very approachable, and if anyone in the community ever needs assistance or help, they can always reach out. I'm here to help, and that's safety. And again, the safety and security is our number one goal and my goal.
Let's switch to D and the F. What word does that make?
Meet Mr. Mark Martinez, an ambitious first-year teacher's aide. This Sam Houston University alumnus has been staying busy, studying to be a teacher, all while changing lives at Roy Cisneros Leadership School for Boys.
I've grown up in similar situations that our students are growing up in, and I think letting them know, hey, you can do it, you can make it, and there's all these possibilities for you. There's opportunities out there, and if you just take advantage of them. Ready for lunch?
When the clock strikes 10:30 a.m., lunch begins at Cisneros. And with focus and admiration, Mr. Martinez is on duty. But you see, this isn't just lunch. It's one of his favorite times of the day.
I'd say my favorite part of the day is, I would say doing lunch duty, just because, I get to see my kids, right, kind of in a different aspect outside of the classroom, but then I also get to see some of those other students, the ones that I don't get to spend a lot of time with. I see a kid and, I always make it a point to tell them, how's it going, how's your day going? I enjoy that, and I always feel like I should, embrace them, because I don't know if they're getting that kind of love at home or with their family, so.
A young professional eager to grow his career at Edgewood ISD, Mr. Martinez sees a bright future for himself and making an impact on the west side of San Antonio.
So I got my bachelor's in history, and right now I'm taking alternative certification program to be a teacher. I do want to stay in Edgewood. I like to stay with the same group of kids, the same faces. I get attached.
Nice one. Color.
Some would say educators are angels disguised as extraordinary humans. And that's who Adriana Salazar is. She is an LBJ Life Skills paraprofessional who is also an advocate and caregiver for her students.
Andale, Juanito. Keep
I
going.
love these kids because they need somebody to show them, because they are people. They're not just, they can't do it. Yes, they can. You could see, they can do it.
It was a Thursday afternoon at LBJ Elementary when lunchtime quickly took a turn for the worse. One of her students began to seizure, and because of Adriana's training and quick response, she became that life-saving angel.
That was a day to remember, and it was so scary. We were at lunch. Our teacher, Ms. Fernandez, noticed that she was starting to shake a little. The training kicked in, which I'm so grateful for, that we have these trainings. I laid her down on her side like we're supposed to, and I just kept by her. I was holding her head, but I noticed that her lips were blue, and she wasn't moving, so that meant she stopped breathing. The nurse got there. The nurse turned her on her back, and she started doing compressions. I noted the time again, it was going to be about 5 minutes, and that's when the EISD PD showed up. She had already came to, so yeah, big scary moment.
As a product of Edgewood, Salazar says she will always be an advocate for her EISD students and always ensures those she cares for are added into her daily prayer.
During the morning announcements, and I say, I'm like, Lord Jesus, keep us safe and let us all stay healthy. And I'm like, let us learn from these kids so that we may be able to teach them what they need to know.